Greetings and salutations. I'm Brent. The Oozing Marachismo is here with me. How are you doing, Mr. Oozing Marachismo?
Welcome everybody once again to a meal with them. Oh wait, I'm not doing that tonight.
I mean, it is Wednesday.
Yeah, it is Wednesday. You're right, and I didn't post one today, so I've been off the old X/Twitter for about a week and a half now, 2 weeks, something like that. So I guess I've been missing out on a lot. I'm not sure.
I I can't tell you, but maybe our other co-host, G. Russell, can tell you. Has he missed anything on the X since he hasn't been on there?
Hello, my little tea chuckers. How are you doing?
Oh,
Well, it's the fourth year already, you know.
yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
we're
Yeah.
down with taxes and freedom of religion, but then we're gonna.
How did that go?
We're trying now. We're trying to do away with that one. So
How did that go?
it went well for a while, but it's starting to go downhill now. I'll tell you what. Anyway,
Yeah, there's not a lot
um,
happening on threads to worry about.
nothing going
Uh,
on. Yeah, I didn't figure. What was I gonna say? I wasn't gonna say anything.
I figure I'm just missing out a lot of Chelsea Green on Twitter. So outside of that, I'm probably okay.
I mean,
Yeah, that the speculation who's going to win Money in the Bank is the main thing you're missing. Because she's
I don't
right
even
up
know
there.
how. I don't even know how I'm gonna pick that match.
I
I'm gonna
don't
be
know
honest
how
with you.
you're going to pick that match.
Until I read them all right now, I don't even know who's all in either one of the Money in the Bank ladder matches. So, which I have up now, we will talk about. I'm assuming, Mayor, you didn't see a whole lot of wrestling this week. I only watched a little bit of Raw. I haven't watched NXT considering it's only Wednesday.
I've watched some of NXT and some of Raw. I kind of was dozing on and off on Raw, but I did watch a good amount of NXT actually. I was actually watching it while I was cooking my chicken tonight.
Chicken, which combo you picking? That's what they say when you go to Raising Cane's. Anything from wrestling this week you wanted to talk about, Glenn? Anything that struck your fancy? Anything you absolutely hated? Anything that you thought was just okay?
No, look, I've not actually seen much wrestling this week.
There we go.
For some reason, both nights I was asleep before wrestling came on.
I mean, sometimes even Batman has to take a night off, Glenn. So
I
at least
suppose
you
so,
could
yeah.
sleep through the night once in a while. I suppose it's nice for you. Yeah, I don't like. I can't even. What I watched on Raw, I don't even remember. I remember Drew McIntyre qualifying for Money in the Bank, but that's the only thing I really remember.
The only thing I did see was Bo Dallas morphing into Uncle Howdy.
Yeah, I didn't see that
That was
either.
pretty. I'm not surprised because you don't like that sort of stuff, do you? Really?
Well, I mean, so I like the interview thing that he did, and I'm willing to give it more of a chance. I'll see how it goes and let it grow on me. And I haven't seen this yet, but I'll definitely have a look at it, and I won't judge it
Because
until I do.
it is the second part of the interview.
Oh,
And then
okay.
everything sort of goes all flickery, and Bo Dallas ends up disappearing, and there's just Uncle Howdy there. So
Interesting. Did you see any of that, Mayor Chismo?
I think I fast forwarded through it.
Sounds like you.
I think that part I went quickly
Mhm.
through.
I got to show you guys I got a new superstar line figure the other day
Ooh.
at Walmart, and here he is.
Dun, 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 dun.
I tried to use his creepiest hands, and I thought it was the ones that are like reaching out to touch you. I thought those would be the creepiest ones.
And it's the OG original creepy doink too.
Yeah, it ain't fucking Happy Dink doink. No.
No, that's the creepy one. That's
That's
what,
the one.
that's Big Josh, isn't it?
Yep, that's a Matt Bourne right there.
Yeah, that's definitely the one.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that version of Doink better. The angry mean Doink.
I think everybody does.
Yeah, I think when people like shit on that gimmick, I think they're shitting on the goofy gimmick. If you go back and watch that early stuff, that shit was great. That was really really good. Super creepy. Just yeah, I thought it was great. Especially going back and watching it now as an adult, you can really appreciate what he was doing. I mean, I think Matt Bourne probably wasn't didn't seem to be a very good person in real life, but he was a very good character on TV.
No.
Beating Crush with a false arm.
Yeah, that was good. Whoa.
My favorite part of that was them trying to sell it as if Doink had ripped his own arm out of the socket and started beating. He ripped his own arm out of the socket. Now he's hitting him over the head with it. I'm like, I remember I'm like 6, and I'm like, that's ridiculous. He didn't. He said, no way, he took his whole arm off.
That's some real dedication. He really hates him.
He wanted to beat that man so bad, he took his own fucking arm off. Can you believe it? At me. Maybe that's why I'm so freaked out by clowns. It wasn't the movie It when I was a kid. It was that watching a clown rip his arm off and beat Crusher, brother, Crush over the head with it. Brother.
Yes.
brother. We're gonna make picks for Money in the Bank and Heat Wave, and then I have compiled a few patriotic matches for us to watch after this, including one match that I know the mayor will be really happy to see because it's one of his favorite characters of all time. So stick around for that. It probably won't be on YouTube because they'll probably block my stream if I do that. But if you go over to Twitch, you can check it out, or Instagram, but probably not on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. But let's get into it. You guys want to start making some picks? We got 2 shows to do. We might as well get into it, right?
Yeah, we need to.
Yeah.
I got to get out my handy dandy notebook. You guys ever seen Blue's Clues?
Notebook.
Yeah.
Notebook.
Yeah, I don't know the song. Do you remember the Notebook song?
No, I was just making it up.
I remember the mail song. Here's the mail. It never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail when it comes on a well mail. But I don't remember the Notebook song.
I only thing I remember, I was thinking more Dora the Explorer because she'd say backpack.
Yeah, she did have a notebook too that she wrote stuff in though, didn't she?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm assuming your girls probably watched that growing up, right, Mary?
Yeah, they did. I tried not to watch it too much, but I'd sit in the room with them while they watched it.
Yeah. I mean, that was one of the ones you could at least tolerate. I mean, there was some stuff that my kids used to watch that make you want to put your head through the wall.
It was better than the Teletubbies.
Oh, fuck that show.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
My youngest surprised us all when we were on holiday in Spain one year. So she started talking in Spanish to the waiter. It turned out she'd been learning Spanish from Dora.
Well, that's amazing. She didn't learn from the fucking Teletubbies because they weren't even speaking the language.
No.
I think that was you people that invented that creepy shit, wasn't it, Glenn?
I think it was an English show.
Well, the Teletubbies, yeah, probably.
Yeah, fucking creeps. Anyway,
they made a lot of money out of being creeps.
Yeah, they definitely did. That's for sure. Well, let's get into it. It's Money in the Bank. We'll do a Money in the Bank match first. We'll do the ladies' Money in the Bank match first. I don't even know if we need to ask the mayor who he thinks going to win because someone's in this match. It's Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Laura Valkyrie, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Zoe Stark. Mayor, I'm going to make you go first because you got to pick between Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton. Good luck, buddy.
I can't do it.
Until I read it. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I know. I knew who was in it, and I'm like, I can't even pick this match. This is like I can't do it. I feel like there hasn't been a Money in the Bank winner, and if there ever could be 2 Money in the Bank winners fighting over a briefcase, those 2 would be perfect for it. So I'm gonna pick with my heart and say they both come down at the briefcase at the exact same time. John Cena and Batista Royal Rumble, and they both are Money in the Bank winners. And
then Triple H storms out from the back, dives into the ring, blowing out both of his quads.
Because I am not picking between those 2. They both win in my world.
All right, fine. So I guess now, in fairness, everybody gets to pick 2.
No, I'm not picking them both. They both have to win at the same time. Okay. I'm picking a dual winner.
If that happens, I will forego every single other match on this show and give you the championship.
So will I.
Yeah, you deserve it if that happens.
Who's booking this shit? The guy named Merrick Canton.
Bro, they could both win, bro.
You know, Family Feud.
Yeah.
Over it was called Family Fortunes. We used to have a comedian on there called Les Dennis. When somebody gave him a really ridiculous answer, he always used to say, "If that's up there, I'll give you the money myself." So you could
That's
take the
good.
whole thing if that comes on there.
Yeah, no kidding. You could be the pay-per-view champion for the next year. if that
Yeah, yeah.
happens. All right, Glenn, who you going with?
I go with Lyra Valkyria.
Is that with your head or with your heart, Glenn?
That's with my head and listening to what people have been saying.
Okay, you're more familiar with the shows at this point, and the pulse. You get your finger on the pulse of the internet wrestling community more than I do, so I'm gonna take your word for it. Man, so Io Sky won it already, so I don't see Io Sky winning it again. I think that Chelsea Green would be amazing with the briefcase. It would be
Definitely.
so entertaining. I love. What'd you say, Glenn?
It would be so blinged up.
Oh, could you imagine that thing would be bedazzled?
Yeah.
Holy cow! I love Laura. I love Tiffany Stratton. I love Naomi. Not so much for Zoe Stark. I was actually a bit hot when I didn't watch the match, but I saw there was a 3-way match. I was a little bit upset that Dakota Kai didn't get in this thing and they put Zoe Stark in anyway. I don't know. I guess I have a soft spot for Dakota Kai, but and I don't have one for Zoe Stark because I just don't find her entertaining. Fuck. I'm gonna pick Tiffany Stratton. I'm gonna go with Tiffany. I have a Tiffany epiphany, and it's gonna be Tiffany. I really wanted to pick Naomi, but I really doubt that she's going to win. So there we go. That's one Money in the Bank. Now we'll go to the Intercontinental Championship match. It is the champion Sami Zayn taking on who has been dominant as thus far on the main roster, Braun Breaker. Glenn, you get to go first. Any way that Sammy can derail the train of Braun Breaker here?
No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be Braun.
Well, I mean, it would make a lot of sense for Braun to win. I feel like we always say Sammy's going to lose, and he never does. I'm going to agree with Glenn and go with Braun as well. They should just keep the momentum going. I think put in the Intercontinental Championship, and then he can have sort of like a long run with it. Maybe not as long as Gunther's, obviously, but maybe a good 6-month run or something.
Have him get close, but have him lose it like 3 days before breaks a record or something, and good to whatever his name is, Kaiser.
Yeah,
get involved to stop him breaking the record.
What about you, Mary? You going clean sweep?
Yeah, clean sweep. I think Braun wins it here. Sammy and Braun were doing a great job. The things that I've actually most enjoyed on Raw have been the Sammy and Braun segments, and then everything that Drew has been doing when he's on the television. Those have been my favorite parts of Raw. So
I think they did a really good job since they brought Breaker up. What they've done with him. It's nice to see these talented people that you see in NXT, and you're going, man, this is going to be something when they get to the main roster, and that actually coming to fruition with people. That's actually nice to see, because for so long it was like, don't put them up on the main roster because they'll just ruin them and they'll get released. Don't do that. Leave them in NXT. So
and Kaiser, I think, has been better on the main roster now over the last since they split him up with Vinci.
Mm-hmm.
Kaiser's been phenomenal. He's been a superstar. Like, I mean, he is stealing the show and the promos. His in-ring action with Sheamus was phenomenal. The match that he had with Braun was great. Everything that guy is doing is just, I don't even know if it was expected, but I really think like he's shining way more bright than they've have been wanting him to, if that sounds right. Like,
Yeah.
Well, he's living his best life at the moment. isn't
he's going above and beyond what I think they're even what they were expecting from him.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I gotta agree with you there. I mean, he's been doing it for a long time, so I guess we shouldn't be surprised, but we are because I mean, I when the tag team broke up, I'm like, oh great. I mean, what are these guys gonna do? And I don't know what Vinci's done since then. Nothing probably.
No, not really.
There's not a whole lot of character there to Vinci, but I also didn't think there was a whole lot of character there to Marcel either. And I get, well, I'm sorry, Ludwig is his name now. Sorry.
Yeah, I see Kaiser. I mean, God, what was his name in NXT?
Vinny Vinci. No, it was
Vinny.
no, it wasn't. It was what was his name? Fabian Eichner is what he used to be called.
Yeah, Fabian Eichner. I think that was his NXT name, wasn't it?
That's what he was when he was in Imperium and NXT UK too. Yeah.
I think he ends up back in NXT and doing
Giovanni Vinci. That's a
Giovanni Vinci. I think he ends up back down in NXT doing something with the Don.
Don't get me started on
I think that's where he ends up with, but I don't know. I don't know how he ended all the way up with Vinny Vici here.
That's actually not a bad spot for him though, because he could like join with the other like sort of his lawyer or whoever guy that he's with. I think he would be a good fit standing in the background with those weird mobsters that I don't like.
Yeah.
Or I don't find entertaining, except for what is her name, Adriana Rizzo.
Adriana Rizzo. Yeah,
she is a fucking great mobster, but the rest of those guys, no.
I believe her.
Yeah, her I believe. And I'm not taking anything away from what Tony D'Angelo does in the ring. He can wrestle. He's a fine wrestler. I just don't like the gimmick. I think it's silly, personally. And I don't have to like it. If you like it, that's fine. I just don't. Let's see. We got a 6-man. No, let's do this one first. The last chance World Heavyweight Championship match. If Priest wins, Rollins will never challenge for the title as long as Priest is champion, unless he comes back with a mask on, possibly as Los Conquistador or something. And if Rollins wins, Damian Priest must leave the Judgment Day, which some people might say maybe long overdue. Not long overdue, but maybe due. I believe it's my turn to go first here. It's funny they have two last chance. They have a last chance match on NXT Heatwave too, so they have had last chance matches on both shows, which I found funny. This one is really one that I think could really go either way because I could see them wanting Seth to have the belt so that he could face Gunther at SummerSlam, but also I don't know, I'm just gonna go with Priest retains by some sort of shenanigans. Mayor, what about you?
I don't even know if as long as Gunther wins the belt at SummerSlam,
doesn't matter.
I don't think it really matters. I think that's where they need to end up with is Gunther winning the belt at SummerSlam. And whoever that would hurt least to have. I say Priest retains here. And then Gunther beats him at SummerSlam just because they need to get him out of the Judgment Day, I believe. And I think that will be a way to go about doing it.
And I could see a scenario where maybe they don't completely cost Damian Priest the match against Gunther, but something happens in the match with a Judgment Day members or a couple of Judgment Day members, and then that's the thing that finally fractures him with the Judgment Day. Because I feel like once he breaks away from the Judgment Day, he's already getting babyface reactions. I think the mayor talked about it a couple weeks ago. He's already getting babyface reactions. I think once he breaks away from the Judgment Day, he's going to be over as a babyface. I think so. I could see that happening. What about you, Glenn? You going clean sleep here for Damian Priest?
No, I'm actually going to go with Seth. For all the reasons that you said, Damian Priest, I think there's going to be shenanigans and it'll cost Priest the match, which will drive the wedge even further into Judgment Day.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense why they threw that stipulation in there about him leaving the Judgment Day. So there you have it. Let's go to it's the 6-man tag team match. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens will be taking on the Bloodline. It'll be any three of Solo Sikoa, Toma Tunga, Tungaloa, and Jacob Fatu. I imagine it's going to be Toma Tunga, Tungaloa, and Jacob Fatu, and obviously the head of the table right now, calling himself that. Solo Sikoa would sit it out, right? That would only make sense to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless he feels like he's got something to prove. I don't know. It's not my turn to go first, though. It's the mayor's turn to go first. So, Mayor, who you picking?
I don't know if you want to have the bloodline come away with a loss in this, especially if Jacob Fatu's involved. You want to have him looking like a monster and looking unbeatable, because I feel like that's what they need to do with Jacob Fatu. So I'm just picking the bloodline to win because of that. Yep.
What about you, Glenn?
I'm torn over this one. Yeah, I think I'll go with the bloodline too.
I can't see it going any other way than the bloodline winning. I mean, I think they beat Cody up some more, and you sort of.
I think Jey Uso's going to save Cody from a beating.
Makes that
At
that
the
would
end.
make sense. I can tell you one thing: War Games this year is going to be fun, huh?
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
It's going to be there's going to be a bunch of Samoans beating the crap out of each other. Holy cow!
Samoan barbecue gone bad.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's gonna look like a whole bunch of Tasmanian devils just all around the ring. It's gonna be great. Yeah, I mean, you want the bloodline to look strong. I would have them win here for sure. Obviously, they'll probably get some help from Solo from the outside and all that, and that's how they'll win. But I do think that the bloodline does have to win that one. Now we get to the very last one, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. It's Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Chad Gable, LA Knight, and Drew McIntyre. Glenn, you do the honors.
There's only 2 men in it, really.
There's only 2 you think they can win it?
Yeah, I think they're going to put the briefcase on Drew if he turns up.
I mean, did he say he wasn't going to come?
Well, he's been saying he's never going to wrestle on Raw again, but we'll see.
Well, this isn't Raw per se, so
No.
So you think it's going to be Drew, huh?
I think it's going to be Drew. I think this is the start of his redemption.
So I agree with you that it probably is going to be Drew, but I just don't love the idea of like an already established main eventer being Money in the Bank. I don't know why. The money in the Bank to me always feels like something that you should do to elevate someone who hasn't won a championship yet. But I do think Drew's going to win. I think it's going toward that way. I wouldn't be upset to see Carmelo Hayes, Andrade. Well, not Andrade because he really hasn't done anything. I wouldn't be upset to see Carmelo Hayes or Chad Gable win this. I know Chad Gable is kind of like an established star, but like I said, he hasn't been a world champion. But he's obviously got something going on with the Wyatt Six, and they might cost him this match, perhaps. I'd love to see LA Knight win it, but I doubt that's going to happen. So I'm going to agree with Glenn and go with Drew wins it. What about you, Mayor of Canton? Mayor?
Did they already name LA Knight and Logan Paul at SummerSlam for the US title? Has that already been because I feel like if that's a match, that probably would make it so LA Knight's not going to win the briefcase and also have a chance at the US title.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the only two matches like officially announced yet are the Damian, like either Priest or Rollins versus Gunther and Bailey Nia Jax. So I don't think so not yet.
Okay,
but it definitely seems like they're building toward that. You're right.
Because I really want I really think LA Knight should win here because I think CM Punk will probably come in and get his comeuppance on Drew and cost him the match after Drew kind of dumped him on, was it SmackDown? I think it was. Or was
Maybe.
it Raw? I don't know. He dumped him out like a carcass, just dropped him on the floor and walked away with his bracelet from his dog and his wife or whatever it was. And
Oh yeah, that was on SmackDown.
so yeah, I kind of feel like it's back and forth and back and forth. And like this one, it's going to be CM Punk getting the one up on Drew here and costing him another shot at the title. So I think that happens, and I don't see anyone else that could possibly win it for me other than LA Knight, but he's kind of in a program with Logan Paul, so it doesn't make sense unless he does the weird thing that who cashed it in for the US title? Was it
Austin
Theory?
Yeah.
Maybe that happens again, and LA Knight goes after the belt with that. Oh, I don't like that, but
No.
I don't like that at all. I don't see anyone else winning it but those two, and I'm really thinking it's got to be LA Knight. So I'm just gonna say LA Knight.
Yeah.
Just to be different than you guys because I made a random pick with the first pick, so I got to catch up somewhere.
Okay.
That's fair. That is fair. That's a really good point about maybe Drew is just about to win. You know, Punk comes out, pushes the ladder over, you know, takes Drew out, and then someone else wins it. And I mean, yeah, I don't know. I could see them giving it to Jey Uso too. And you know, I know Jey Uso hasn't been a world champion either, but I also feel like Jey Uso doesn't need to have a briefcase. You know what I mean? Like it's just not something he needs. But neither does Drew McIntyre. So I guess I wouldn't be mad if anybody wins this match. I mean, whatever. But I would, if I had to pick someone, if I had to pick a favorite that I wanted to win, it would be LA Knight. So I hope you're right, Mayor. I hope you're right. Hope it's
At
LA
least
Knight.
there's no Otis in this one.
That's true. That is
kind of there. He might be involved in the match if Chad Gable's involved in it.
That's a good point. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
There's nobody in there where you look at it and be like, if they win it, they're going to do nothing with the briefcase.
That's exactly what I meant. I didn't mean Otis specifically. Just there's not one person in that lot that you think wouldn't do something with that briefcase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. The funny thing about that one too, I forget about. They did that thing in like the WWE building, remember? And you had to get on the roof.
Yeah.
Didn't Rey Mysterio fucking die? Somebody threw him off the roof. He's dead.
Baron Corbin threw him off the roof.
Yeah.
Fucking dead. All right. Well, that does it for Money in the Bank. And now let's move to Sunday night and the NXT program. NXT Heat Wave, it is known as. There is a pre-show match. It is Carmen Petrovic, I think is how you pronounce that, and Ariana Grace taking on one of the mayor's favorites, JC Jane, and one of my favorites, Jasmine Nix. And Mayor, you picking JC Jane and Jasmine Nix? Because I'm picking them too.
I mean, I have to. I mean, I'm at this point, I'm like, pot committed here, where I've just got to pick JC Jane every match she's in. So I feel like she's got to win it. I'm really enjoying Ariana Grace, though. She's got her dad's comedic timing, and man, she's hilarious. Like, she cracks me up. She might be the funniest outside of Chelsea Green. She might be the funniest female in all of professional wrestling.
I think her and Chelsea Green would make a phenomenal tag team. They would be.
Oh
great.
yeah. Those two, just give them a TV show.
Yeah, she is really funny. What about you, Glenn? We made our picks. Who are you going with?
You've got a clean sweep.
All right. We got a clean sweep there. So that's it for the pre-show. We'll go into the main card. NXT Tag Team Championship match. Nathan Frazier and Axiom, the champions, battling Chase U, Andre Chase, and Duke Hudson. They will have Riley Osborne and Thea Hale, who's got all the energy of a cokehead, at ringside with them. The mayor got, I don't know. Well, me and the mayor both pick first. We'll let you go on first on this one, Glenn. You going with NXT UK? Or are you picking Chase U?
Oh, I've got to go with NXT UK.
It's
Although
like when I asked the mayor if he thinks Chelsea Green's going to win.
don't know where that axiom came from, but Nathan Fraser definitely.
What about you? What about you, Mayor? You agreeing with him? Or you taking the U?
I think I'm taking the U because they started adding another guy from NXT UK this week, Ridge Holland, into the group. And I feel like he's going to do something to help win over the group, and kind of be shady to help them win. So I feel like this is where Chase U wins the belts here.
Chase U. So it's down to me. Who am I going to pick? It all comes down to one thing, really. Duke Hudson, I don't trust your face. And therefore, I'm picking Nathan Fraser and Axiom.
Mm-hmm.
It tipped
Just
the
gonna
scale.
get a drink. Just gonna get a drink.
Go ahead.
Was Axiom a kid?
No, I don't think so. He is as much a kid as Hulk Hogan was Mr. America. Let's just say that.
Okay.
We can
So
confirm nor deny.
Definitely not the same individual.
Definitely not the same person at all. Clearly not. It is merely a coincidence that Axiom starts with an A, and so does A Kid. For all we know, A Kid grew into a man and got married. We don't know.
Also, like that Chelsea Green and that masked luchador that came out in a schoolgirl outfit was Chelsea Verde.
When did you get him sprint back out there with that mask on? I lost it. I said, "Oh my god!"
The exact same outfit too.
She's so funny. It's amazing. Amazing. Yes. He became a man with children, and now he's retired from wrestling. I was explaining to the mayor here that A Kid turned into a man with children and retired from wrestling is what happened to him.
Oh, of course, yeah.
He's somewhere with El Generico.
Yeah, I was going to say he went somewhere.
He's selling women's shoes down in Chicago right now.
That's
the same place as El Generico.
Absolutely is. All right, the next match is a singles match for the NXT Women's North America Championship. It is Kalani Jordan battling Sol Ruka. This might be one of the most athletic wrestling matches in the history of wrestling because I believe both of these two. I know Kalani was a gymnast, and Sol Ruka could be a fucking gymnast if she wanted to be one. I'll go first here. Kalani Jordan just won this thing. It's a newly made championship, so having her drop it so soon doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I'm going to say Kalani Jordan retains. What about you, Mayor?
Oh, yeah, I think I've got to agree for all of those points that you made because they're all really good points. Like, you just created a new belt. You don't want to have someone lose it after, I think, 2 title defenses, 1 maybe.
I think she had the one with
was it Stevie Turner?
Mia Yim.
Did she wrestle Stevie?
I think maybe she did, but I thought she wrestled Mia Yim because Jada Parker got involved, I believe.
It was Mia Yim.
Or Michin, I'm sorry. Whatever.
Michin.
Whatever.
So, or what was her name in Retribution? Malice or something like that? Anyway.
I don't even remember. Was it
Rebel? Reckoning? Was it Reckoning?
Yeah.
It's terrible. Anyway, yeah, Kalani Jordan wins it, and this is just going to be freakishly athletic, like you said. This is going to be good.
It's going to be like if Ricochet wrestled himself.
Yeah. I feel like if Samantha Irvin ever leaves him, Ricochet's going to have to wrestle himself.
Well, he doesn't have to wrestle himself now, that's for sure. What about you, Glenn? Who are you picking?
Yeah, got the clean sweep on this one.
And it's hard to pick against Kalani Jordan, as that is my grandbaby's name. And she just turned 2. So happy birthday.
And her last
Kalani.
name is Jordan, which is the greatest basketball player to ever live. But if you're a Cleveland Cavs fan, you might feel differently about it.
Yeah. The grandbaby's name isn't Kalani Jordan, just Kalani.
Mm-hmm.
That would be very fucking if it was Kalani.
Although her middle name is close to another wrestler's name. Her middle name is Rain.
I believe Goldust Russell is a wrestler named Rain, if I'm not mistaken. In TNA, I think he was Rain. If you look it up, I'm pretty sure. The next match is another last chance match. This one's for the NXT North American Championship. It is the champion Oma Femi battling the former champion Wes Lee. If Wes Lee does not win, he can never challenge for the championship as long as Oma Femi is the champion, unless, of course, like I said, he comes back in a mask as El Nacho or some sort of weird gimmick like that. I think we're back to Glenn going first. Glenn, you get to go first.
I'm actually going Wesley because they've not done a lot with Oma Fairy lately. They built him up and then it just sort of stalled.
Yeah, I agree with you there because I like the whole last chance thing, and the way like Wes Lee's character has always been in NXT is like the underdog, overcoming the odds underdog, and this will just be another story in him overcoming the odds in this big guy Oma Femi and is what's supposed to be his last championship match. So I'm picking Wes Lee too. What about you, Mayor?
I feel like I'm gonna have to be different on this one. I feel like Oma Femi still retains the title here. I don't have a good feeling about that. After, I don't know if you guys saw the. I don't remember if it was this week if they had an in-ring promo or if it was the week before, but something was going on in the crowd, and both of them just completely got distracted by what was going on in the crowd and forgot what they were supposed to be saying, and they both just looked at each other and they're just stalled out, like their brains both froze at the same time, and it was so uncomfortable to watch because I don't know if I've ever seen two people on national television freeze at the exact same time.
I'm gonna need to see this.
Yeah, they both kept like something. I don't know if there was a fight in the crowd or they were like looking into the crowd. Something happened. And I feel like they thought it was part of the show. So they kept like looking into the crowd. Like you just got to keep going with what you're supposed to say. Like don't stop to see what's going on in the crowd. And they just froze up completely.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. I haven't watched.
It might have been the previous week. It might not.
If I did watch last week, I don't remember. But
and you also watch it post. Yours may have been edited too. If you watch the US whatever the one.
Oh yeah,
you watch it.
I usually watch that on Peacock. I just wait till Thursday when it gets put on there. So I usually see all of it. It's
Okay.
Raw that I see that watch the Hulu version. So I only watch. It's only like 90 minutes, so I don't see it all.
Okay.
I think it's like, who is it that's giving HBK all the grief at the moment?
They giving HBK grief, or are they giving what's her name, Ava?
Well, both.
Oh.
Who is it? He used to be part of the tag team and now fighting everybody and caused a ruckus in the crowd. Is it one of
Is it not Briggs or Briggs Jensen?
Yeah, I think it's one of those.
One of those two. Hopefully, they should be using those guys. Both those guys are good, I think.
Yeah, I like both of those guys and Fallon Henley. I liked all three of them together.
We know
and
you like
apart.
all the above.
Yes.
The next match is the NXT Women's Championship match. It is the champion Roxanne Perez taking on Hips McGee, aka Lola Vice. Mayor, I think you get to go first this time.
Watching Lola Vice is like watching a tennis match. My eyes just are going like this nonstop. I can't focus.
Ding, 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 ding.
My eyes just go back and forth for like the entirety of the match. I don't know what's even going on. So, who's she wrestling? Is it Roxanne?
Yeah, Roxanne.
You don't
have to put
I feel like I always pick against Roxanne Perez.
You do. You hate Roxanne Perez. I don't know what you ever did to you.
I have nothing against Roxanne Perez. I just feel like I always pick against her. And I think I'm just going
to... fucking midget, I hate her.
I think I'm going to continue that streak today. So Lola Vice wins the championship here. And her hips don't lie.
I mean, they say a lot of stuff. They might be lies. I don't know.
I see no lies.
Unless, like, I could see them moving Roxanne Perez up here soon because, like, what else are they going to do with her? But also at the same time, is Lola Vice. I mean, Lola Vice is good and all, but I don't know if she's ready to be. I don't know if she's ready to be the champion at this point. Not yet, in my opinion. But that doesn't mean that she's not going to win this match, and that doesn't mean that she couldn't come into her own more as a champion. I'm not saying that she's not a good character or anything like that. I just don't think that she's ready at this point to be the NXT Women's Champion. So I'm going to stick with Roxanne Perez at this point, but wouldn't be surprised if Lola does win. What about you, Glenn?
Roxanne, you don't have to put on the Reds tonight. It's definitely going to be Roxanne.
It's got to be Roxanne. It'll be interesting to watch, to see that one. I think they're both about the same height.
They are.
Yeah. Neither of them are towering over anybody.
Yeah.
The thing is despite all the gyrations and everything, Lola Vice is a proper MMA fighter.
Yeah, she'll knock you the fuck out. Like, legit, she'll knock you out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She might hit you 3 or 4 times before you even knew it, before you even knew you were in a fight. So yeah, no kidding. Yeah, no, she's a legit badass. I wouldn't say anything cross to her. I wouldn't anyway, but I would just because she beat me up. The main event, it's a fatal 4-way now. Even though if I'm Javon Evans, I'm pissed because I thought I won a goddamn match to get a championship. Now I'm a fucking fatal 4-way. How did I get myself here? Trick Williams, Javon Evans, Ethan Page, and Sean Spears for the NXT Championship. Glenn, tell me why any one of these guys is going to take the belt off Trick Williams.
I can't do that.
I didn't think so.
There's not one of them that looks like they're going to be a champion. Apart from Trick.
The only one I will give you is Ethan Page. I think Ethan Page could be the NXT champion after Trick. But I think he needs a little more time. I think Trick's going to win too. What about you, May? Are you picking anybody different? You picked Ethan Page last time. You might as well go this time.
Yeah, I picked Ethan Page last time. I don't like him in this 4-way match here. I'm definitely not picking Sean Spears for sure.
Well, I figured that one.
Was it Javon Evans? Is that his name?
I think so, or I think that's how you pronounce it.
Javon Evans, because he just lost to Ethan Page on Tuesday, like 2 days ago or yesterday. And like heads up in a match, just single.
Oh goddamn, he's probably winning the championship then. I'm changing my pick. I'm just
no interference and lost. So it's either got to be Ethan Page or Trick, and I feel like there's no reason to take it off Trick here. So Trick Williams retains.
I just wish they'd stop doing this with the NXT title. Keep on making it 3 and 4 man matches.
Yeah,
so they can't make their mind up who they want as a number 1 contender.
I think it's very slim picking for that at this point. They have a very strong women's roster, but at this point, I don't think they have a whole lot of main event ready men's talent. I mean, I think that goes to show you why Ethan Page was so quickly put in the main event spot because they are so thin.
That's right.
In that area on NXT. So, and I mean, if Omofemi loses the NXT championship, he could be next in line. Him versus Trick Williams would be an interesting feud. You could do that for a couple months. So,
I mean, they did lose Carmelo, Braun, and Ilya all about the same week. So
that is absolutely true. I mean, yeah, they sent a lot of talent up. Yes,
they must plan for that, though. Surely,
you would
it's
think.
not all of a sudden they all became injured.
Yeah, and I also think that the way things are now with WWE, I don't think there's as much surprise shit happening as there used to be. I think a lot of things used to be surprise, and now it's not as bad anymore.
No.
I heard Triple H in an interview, and he was saying that he thinks of a storyline as like a GPS. You throw it in there, you throw it in your GPS, and then you just let all the twists and turns go. And I'm like, that's a fucking great way to look at it. So that's probably why it's working so well. But there you have it. That is all our picks for this weekend's shows. It is now time to say goodbye to anyone who's watching us on YouTube. We appreciate it, but if you could head over to Twitch or Instagram, you can watch some patriotic wrestling matches with us, including the most patriotic wrestling. If I told you the most patriotic